All right. Are you hearing me, Trudy? Or Wizard? Is the Wizard hearing me?
Yes, yes. Hello, Vini.
Hello, Wizard.
How? Okay, this is Vini from Crown Vic Royal. Vini,
Oh,
so how? What inspired you to name your band Crown Vic Royal? I always wanted to ask.
okay. Well, that was our drummer, Joe Scott. He loved that name, Crown Vic. And I think there's something about the Crown Vic car that just is the kind of band we want to be. Solid, the kind of car, if you want to get into a car chase, you drive. Crown Vics are very popular with cabbies and police officers because there's just something solid about it. Not trying to be as flashy as a Corvette. But this is what happened, Wizards. We went on Facebook and we found there were 77 other bands named Crown Vic. So I was like, let's go and get another band name. But our drummer really liked the name. And after a while, it became clear that was the name for us. So we added the word royal to make it special. Sort of like, in Pulp Fiction, it's the cheeseburger royale. So it was sort of something like, there are other Crown Vics out there, but we're the Royal Crown Vic. Silly, but it was allowed us to have our own domain name.
There is no other Crown Vic Royal then.
Nope, that's us.
Okay, awesome. Did you have to file any trademark or anything to keep it yours?
Well, I'm not exactly sure how all that works, but when we signed our distribution deal, I think somebody took over that kind of stuff from us, some sort of legal place in the world of the business. But we didn't do it, but I hope that we have somebody doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think we did.
So someone
Well,
is taking.
sign papers and you don't read them.
So someone is taking care of it for you then.
I hope. I think so, yes. I think that was actually, Wizard, I think that's something that was part of our distribution deal.
Good for you.
I hope.
Let's talk a little bit about your newest release, Peyote Embers. So how did that come about and why Peyote Embers and why that name?
Cool. Well, the song is about when I wrote it during the pandemic. And to me, it's sort of like my version of a My Way song by, that Paul Anka song that Frank Sinatra made popular, My Way. And I'm looking into that guy who looks at his life and says, yeah, I did a lot of things wrong and a lot of things didn't go right for me, but I'm still okay. And I'm happy with what happened because I did it my way. And the poem or the poetic element of the song is that kind of story. But the context is very modern. And the context is inspired as the character who's talking to us in the song is inspired by, it's not the final episode of Sopranos, but it's one of the later ones. And so I won't reveal it for anyone because it's awesome. So there's very little spoiler in this as I say it, I hope. But in it, Tony Soprano, the main character of the TV show Sopranos, eats peyote, a psychedelic drug that I don't really know about, but apparently produces hallucinations and euphoric feelings after you get terribly sick. So anyway, in that episode, Tony Soprano gets high on the peyote, and then he goes down to the roulette wheel, and he can't lose. He sees where the ball's going every time, and he always picks the winner. And that's that kind of feeling the storyteller has. He's like, I may have had a tough life, but I did the right things. I may have gotten knocked out in the fight, but you know what? I did it. I may have, gone to jail, but I came out and I got out of it. And the song's set at maybe 5 a.m, 4 a.m, when everything that's happened the night before is still fresh in the memory of our storyteller, and he's feeling good about himself. He's feeling like, I don't care how it went, I did it my way. And because he's saying that in it, he's bonding with Tony Soprano from that episode. So the feeling of euphoria that this guy might have after a night of drinking or whatever has happened that night that has given his life this stubborn validation, he can connect and bond with who Tony Soprano was as well. So that's the context of it.
Let's listen to it, shall we?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay. We're having a little technical difficulties, so it wants me to install some player. Let's see. Oh. Well, anyway, you have a radio edit. Well, you can explain how your radio edit differs from the original. While I try to fix uh, this little hiccup here.
We had the release come out and we wanted to send it off to some radio stations. And so we sent the radio edit to you even before we put it up on Spotify. So I think when you play the radio edit, it won't come out with the business stamp on it, the Spinatron thing, because it's a pre-Spotify, pre-distribution copy that we sent to you. But it is the exact same song.
Okay, let's try to listen to it now. This is actually the original. That was nice, Vinny. It sounded a little bit like a crackling fire.
Oh, thank you. That's exactly what the feeling is. Like, what do you feel at 4 a.m.? If you notice, there's no full drum kit on there. Our drummer Joe only played with his feet on the bare floor. We put the mic right on there
Oh,
because you really wouldn't have a drum kit at 4 a.m., right?
right.
You might have a campfire kind of song feel, which
Mhm.
is kind of what we're going for there, but you wouldn't have a drum kit. So we have a little bit of drum beat there with the toe tap, the feet tapping on the floor.
Mhm.
And that was all Joe's idea. I didn't think of that. Joe and I went in and we recorded our parts together in the studio so that we could be synced together and have fun doing that.
Mhm.
And he insisted that he would not use the kit. He would just do the feet. And I was like, really? But then as I heard his beat and I understood what he was thinking about the song, I was like, you're right. That's how we should do it. So thank you. Crackling fires. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. What is more important, beautiful lyrics or beautiful music?
Well, we're after the beautiful music, right? That's what we're going for. To me, that is, I love all forms of art. And I really am a big fan of literature immensely. But I do understand that music translates so well. But here's my little take on that. Why that question is so important, Wizard, is that how do you get those beautiful melodies? And if you, but I don't know where they come from, and I don't trust that my ear really likes that melody as much as I might think it is, unless I can wrap it into the poetry of something. So it may not necessarily be words, though with this song it is, but we have a few instrumentals. We play 3 or 4 instrumentals per set, and there's an instrumental on the new EP, Cosmic Nights. And so where the poetry and the melodies came from that, because there was no words, I had to, find something else and find some other pre-existing sounds that were important to me to make the melody. Because I do think that the poetic is the guide path to the beautiful melodies,
Mhm.
that they're not lost. If you dig deep, the beautiful Tchaikovsky symphonies are rooted in the Russian language through the folk songs he imitates in them.
Oh,
Though
yeah.
the words are gone and lost and not there anymore, something about the language creates the beauty. I don't know though. Your question is directed towards me, and I come from a love of literature, so I often start with the poetry of the song.
Have you been able to, has the band been able to play this live anywhere?
Yes, we played March 27th at Reggie's, our first show, and I think it was one of the first shows back in town, and it was so wonderful. And then we played it the Saturday after, um, April 3rd, uh, at Montrose Saloon. So we gotten to play on the south side and the north side already. Uh, and then since then, we have been doing the final edits of a film that we are going to be releasing soon of a live concert. This is like, you typically see a live stream, but we did some live streams in September and January. We did a couple, one in September and one in January. And we wanted to go one step further. So this is more of a film. We recorded live in the studio. We're live, but then the filmmakers took it and are finishing up for it. So tomorrow, to celebrate April and the rites of spring, we will release one song from that film. And then in the weeks coming up, we are going to release the whole film and make it, well, because while I've gotten vaxxed and feel protected, I know not everybody has, and I want to reach out. And I know that we're still going to be here for a while. We still need to wear the masks. We still need to take care of everybody, not just ourselves, but the strangers we will meet in the world. So our next show will be this live film that we're going to release.
Hmm. Where
A
can,
teaser of it. Not really a teaser, but one song from it tomorrow to give you a taste of it.
Where can listeners hear the song? See the film.
We're going to put it on our Crown Vic Royal Facebook page tomorrow. And then when we release it, we'll do a YouTube premiere. So we have Crown Vic Royal has a YouTube channel. And so we'll hype it through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and everything. But on the night of the show, we will release it on a premiere on YouTube. And so they'll get to hear the full, it's the mini concert. We didn't want to do a whole concert. I don't know if people can always sit there and watch, a 2-hour concert from a band, but we got about a 20-minute show. It features the new songs from Cosmic Nights.
All 3 songs, or are there more?
4.
4?
Yeah, we also perform one that our lead singer David wrote called "I'll Be There Too," and that was on our EP we released last year called "There's Still Time," and that EP got released in September of 2020. But we had recorded that one before we went into the quarantine pandemic.
Mhm. So Cosmic Nights is the cover album for all your work so far, and you're still adding singles to the album. Is that?
Yeah, well, Cosmic Nights is an EP, a 3-song collection.
Oh.
And I think that's what we're doing now. I think the game plan for us, Wizard, is EPs and singles for a while instead of full albums, because we really want to make sure people hear the songs. And when we release an album, maybe they won't get to hear the whole album. Maybe they'll just hear a song and that will be it. So I'm kind of thinking, and plus I want to keep in touch with everybody because we're so far apart, with all these, realities right now. So I want to be able to, regularly release things. So instead of having one album released in calling it Cosmic Nights, we have an EP, Cosmic Nights, and other songs. But clearly, like you were suggesting, Trudy, Wizard, they go together. They go together.
How did Cosmic Nights cover the 4 songs that we have on the album? I see that there's one in the Palace of the Desert Birds. That's such a beautiful title. And Prayer for Summer, we can understand where that derived from. But in the Palace of the Desert Birds, what's the story behind that?
Yeah, that being the instrumental, that was me trying to find the poetry through sounds. And what I wanted to capture was the mood of what I thought would have been a nice compliment for Cosmic Nights, that idea of being, at one with nature and at peace with nature. It's also a little bit of illusion, Wizard, to this fact. The only jam band tune the Beatles ever wrote and created, it was never publicly released, but you can find it on YouTube. That's how I found it, at least. It's called In the Palace of the Birds. And I think that was John Lennon's way of saying, this song is about, feeling high, feeling, up there in the world, like whatever. What I've always liked about it was how relaxing and beautiful it was. So when when it came to me, and it's a pretty interesting chords, it's a C6 to a D9. It's a 2-chord song, but it's a very rare song tone in rock and roll. And one of the things I do with it is I play the C6, 9 in an inverted way. So the first tone you hear is the A. So it might hear for a lot of people like it's an A to a D chord, but it's really that C6 formation, which is, to me, very close to the sound of an A minor. And I love that A minor D sound and the A minor to a D sound. But I wanted to play something a little bit, not what I'd already had heard. So I learned and discovered this chord called the C6. And it's very similar to the A minor chord, but it's not fully minor, but it's not minor. And it's sort of in this space that, to me, allowed me to float with the birds, to say, that's where we are. And of course, to me, the desert birds are the vultures. And so I was thinking about how, I wrote the song maybe this time last year, so I wrote it like, oh, look above. The vultures are circling human civilization right now. They're ready for our carcasses to be put on display for them.
No wonder it's in a minor key, because in music theory, our instructor mentioned that minor keys often reflect sadness.
Yes.
That is,
Sadness,
go ahead.
yes. And that's why I think I wanted it to be a little bit that way, because I kind of like sadness as a sound. I think some of my favorite songs are the sad ones. I'm not alone with that, I don't think. I also think I moved it off the minor to the sixth so that it wouldn't dwell on sadness. Instead, would have that sort of the feeling of sadness without that overwhelming quality of it, of the minor chord.
Let us listen to
Okay.
In the Palace of the Desert Birds.
Thank you, Wizard.
Well, as we listen to that, I could picture in my head what you said about vultures circling.
You can feel them, huh?
Yes, yes.
Beware, beware. They came for
Well,
us.
as we listen to that, I could picture in my head what you said about vultures circling.
You can feel them, huh?
Yes, yes.
Beware, beware. They came for
Well,
us.
as we listen to that, I could picture in my head what you said about vultures. Not sure about what's happening right now. It's a little repeat echoing. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's see.
Cool.
Well, as we listen to that, I could picture in my head what you said about vultures. Not sure what's happening right now. It's a little repeat echoing. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's see.
Cool.
Yes, we listen to that. Do you have any idea what's happening? Right now, let's see if we could continue. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any idea what's happening? Okay. Well, let's see if we could continue. Okay. Well, let's see if we could. Well, anyway, this is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. Vinny, let's talk about your final song, "Prayer
Okay.
for Summer," and how how can you express a prayer in music?
Yes. So this was definitely written last spring and it really didn't apply to last summer. So I'm kind of hoping it now. But I think as you can hear in the song, the person singing is someone, the person talking is someone who is falling in love. And so the prayer is for love this summer, that people can find love.
Oh,
And that those kinds of romantic connections can develop organically. Like the opening line, there once was a large crowd, but now there's just us two. And so the prayer is really for large crowds, which is one of the most wonderful ways to meet people and to have the development of friends and romance begin. So that's what I was thinking. And I know what I was thinking last year was, wow, all the people in the world who are lonely and want love. And then this happened to them, that this barrier between them and other people. And I felt the pain for it. So the way I wanted the song to, the song never says prayer, but is the events of the song are, to me, the hopes of what it could happen, that love can happen. And I think a lot of us, I don't know, I know I can deeply connect with the feeling of that hope for love, that love is really what we want. And when you ask, what is it that people want? I think what we want is love. So prayer for summer was my way of saying, I hope something can happen. And I hope it can be like this romantic journey that this song takes for this summer couple.
so you wrote this song before the pandemic hit? You started writing it before the pandemic hit?
No, I wrote it probably last March, April, probably last April.
So that was when it began.
Yeah, this song was my response of all the things that were happening. I felt great pain because people were dying.
Mhm.
I felt great pain because people were sick. I felt great pain because so many people lost their financial opportunities.
Mhm.
And I heard that on the news, and people talked about that. What people didn't talk about that I also felt was greatly lost was those, bonds of romance and friendship that are naturally formed. And I've always looked for the summer as a great place where they flourished and blossomed. And so my prayer was also, yes, I want people to go back to work. Yes, I want business owners and entrepreneurs to get their opportunities that they've worked so hard for. Yes, I want children in school. Yes, I want old people and sick people out of the hospital healthy and youthful. But I also wanted to point out that those of us seeking love may be missing out on something. And so I said a little prayer for them in this song. It's prayer for summer.
Let us listen to Prayer for Summer.
Cool.
And that was Prayer for Summer from Crown Vic Royal. I like that. It's all three songs, Peyote Embers, In the Palace of the Desert Birds, and Prayer for Summer all tie in with our show today, in which we were reflecting on Carrio's Law about this police officer in Buffalo, New York, that saved an unarmed civilian from from dying from excessive use of force, and she struggled 15 years to get her pension back, and it was a big struggle. So um, it's always artist kind of beautiful art kind of reaches for and grasps at the humanity in all of us.
I agree.
Could you tell us a little bit about the members of your band and what's new that's coming up, new releases and your and any future gigs?
Excellent. Thank you, Wizard, for that question, because I formed the band a long time ago with Joe, our drummer, Joe Scott, born and raised in Chicago on the Northwest Side, proud attendee of St. Pat's High School, Wright College, and graduated and got his master's at Elmhurst. Joe, he brings the beat. Our bass player is Brendan. Brendan, Joe, and I really formed a great friendship in that we kept going to the same rock concerts together. I would get tickets, or Brendan would buy the tickets. We didn't even call each other. We just knew we loved the same bands. And so whenever the Dandy Warhols or Brian Jonestown Massacre or Black Rebel Motorcycle Club were in town, whoever found out first bought the tickets and then let us know about it. The three of us form they form what's called the backline in music business, the bass and drums. Brendan's our bassist. He's also a St. Pat's graduate, and he plays bass, though he's originally a guitar player, but he took up the bass for us, and he's laying it down for us. In 2018, at a Cubs game, I met David. David is our singer. Our band is pretty multicultural. Our drummer's Asian. We got me, a German-Irish boy from the Northwest Side of Chicago, born in Resurrection Hospital. And we've got Brendan. And we've also got David, who is from Houston, Texas, and is of Mexican ancestry. And so he's the different one in us, because the other three were born and raised Northwest Chicago boys. And when I met David, I immediately befriended him. We immediately hit it off as friends. But I knew I couldn't form a band with someone I just formed a friendship with. So I was involved with some other musical adventures at that time, and I stayed on that. I didn't go back to working with Crown Vic Royal and Joe for a while, but I just, kept hanging out with David and whatnot. And then I don't know, sometime in 2018, 2019, I just know this is what I will date. We played our first concert at the Montrose Saloon in June of 2019. And it's been no looking back. It's incredible how much we grow as four of us musicians together. They're like my best musical teachers. They tell me what's right, what I'm doing. They tell me I'm not doing something that's right. And I think we have that relationship with each other. We get together and record once a week, usually on Tuesdays, with our newest member of the band, our keyboardist, Kevin Ford. And he's played a gig with us already, and you can hear his keys all over Cosmic Nights. And then we get together once a week if we're not doing a gig, and just rehearse and to play and to learn new songs together. So that's Crown Vic Royal. Joe, Brendan, David, Kevin, and I.
How could listeners see you or obtain your music?
All right. Well, we're on all the social, as they say. You can hear us on Spotify. Please do. Please put us in your Spotify favorite list. But Pandora, Rhapsody, you can find us there. We're on Bandcamp. But one of the best things, I just to make this appeal to you wizards to remind people, it really matters promoters when they see how many friends we have on Facebook and Instagram. And we're there. We'll hype. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to premiere a live version of New in the Palace of the Desert Birds for the film on Facebook. So please like us on Facebook. I know you see them on all those YouTube influencers where they say, hit the socials, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, Wizards and fans of the Wizards, when I talk to promoters and book gigs, or when we book gigs, they look at us and they want to know that we can bring an audience, and somehow it's equatable. If you're able to generate an audience, you're probably able to generate likes and followers on Facebook. So please give us a listen, give us a friend.
Do you have a name for your film? Is it a video of you playing, or is it going to be actually a film that will be released as well?
No, it's just a concert film, and it's titled Cosmic Nights. So it's, I guess, in the genre, it's a promo film for us. And we're more of a live band than sort of a quirky video band. So the opportunity to work with the film team at Mondo Machine, the people who made the film, the people at Mondo Machine, they could have made a video. We could have gone that direction, but we kind of wanted to let people know, hey, we're a live band and we love playing live. So listen to us, come out and see us. If you book bands, please give us a chance.
Every time you play together, is it always the same the way that a piece is played, or sometimes something happens and then somebody improvises a little bit, and then the other band members jump in as well?
Yes, actually, our last gang at Montrose Saloon, I loved that we went pretty free with a couple tunes as well, and I love that. Let me say this, Wizard. Our keyboardist is impeccably. His improv chops are beyond. He's a jazz musician. I think our drummer's a jazz musician, and I have jazz training. So I think that's a little thing that's in our mix of cosmic American music, the blues and the soul and the country music. But what Kevin taught me is this, that when he's improvising, when he's allowing himself to do things and he's listening to his instincts, it's like the notions in his head come out of him and he can see a cloud, and he can remove that cloud of his word I remember was notions. He could remove those notions from his head, those pre-designed patterns and beliefs and ideas that he might have already had with the music, and he finds something new. So I think it's very important as a band, that element of our live sound where we're allowing ourselves to discover. Now, we've got some songs we really like, so we really laid out the arrangements for them, and we're very precise with a lot of those steps, but it's not really going to be Crown Vic Royal not really a Crown Vic Royal song, unless we allow it to have that moment where, we're allowing ourselves to discover things.
What is your genre? What is the genre for all three songs?
I don't know what other people will call. A lot of people have been writing reviews on it, mixed it up, country flavored blues, country blues rock, psychedelic rock. We get a lot. We probably get that more than anything, and those are probably where our roots are. The phrase I like to use, though, is called cosmic American music. I picked that phrase up from old boy Graham from the Flying Burrito Brothers, and it was his term for what he was doing to explain why it's okay to 1 minute to play country music, which we love playing, and another moment to be playing rock, and another minute to have a very blues element to our sound. So how does that work? And to me, the logic is, born and raised in Chicago, straight up to Mississippi, you got New Orleans, you got the Delta, you got Memphis, you got Nashville, you got Kentucky, and you got Chicago, you got St. Louis. And they all transported together. For instance, in the 19th century, musicians playing on the steamboats might be traveling from St. Louis to New Orleans, entertaining people from up and down the Mississippi River.
Mhm.
And then to me, there's something at the heart of America that's in that journey, that Huck Finn journey up and down the river. And to me, that's our music, the music of the river, the big river.
Mhm. The heart of America.
I think so. Yeah, that's what I've taken, Wizard. Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us, Vinny, from Crown Vic Royal. And please catch Crown Vic Royal's live video tomorrow on Facebook under Crown Vic Royal Facebook page.
Excellent. Thank you, DJ Wizard.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much. Thank you.
it. Bye-bye.
Bye.